by for an update on the story regarding the Constitutional Court attackers. eNCA's Heidi Jokos. Let's cross to her live now. Heidi, over to you. All right, we'll come back to Heidi, but it's clear from the state capture report that the Northwest is going to be under the spotlight in terms of corruption there. We're going to see more and more about how its involvement was in SA Express. But let's go back to Heidi Jokos now, who's at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court dealing with the hammer attack on the Constitutional Court yesterday. Heidi, do we have you with us? All right, that's NPA spokesperson who's about to talk, so we'll stand by for her.
Ready, guys? Okay. All right. We can confirm as the NPA that a 36-year-old man by the name Paul Makauta appeared at the Hillbrow Magistrates Court facing a charge of malicious injury to property. Investigations are ongoing, and we are trying to determine as the state what other charges can be preferred against him in terms of the National Key Points Act.
Henry, we heard during the proceedings that the accused does have a previous murder conviction. Are you able to provide any details around that conviction at this stage?
Indeed, yes. We can confirm that the accused is currently serving parole under correctional supervision for a charge of murder. He was convicted in 2010 and released on parole in 2019. So what we have now done as the state is to request the investigating officer to liaise with the Department of Correctional Services in terms of establishing whether or not the accused person before court contravened his parole conditions, and if so, then he should be taken back to custody to serve the remainder of his sentence. Any other questions? Going?
Do you know if it's politically motivated attack?
Well, investigations are still at an infant stage. So once the investigation process progresses, we'll be in a better position to tell whether or not this is a political motivated act or it's just an individual act, and whether or not it's linked to the Cape Town one. Investigations are ongoing, but at this point we don't have information that suggests that this case is linked to what happened in the Western Cape.
But do you know if he's a member of a political party?
Well, at this point we have not yet established such information, but it forms part of the investigation instructions that were given to the investigating officer by the prosecutor to establish such information.
Can I ask, obviously the charge that the accused is currently facing is a malicious injury to property charge. That's not generally considered one of the more serious offences, but we do have a state advocate handling this case. Can you just talk to us a bit about how seriously the NPA is taking these charges? I assume that this is obviously because it was the Constitutional Court of National Security.
Indeed, yes. As the NPA, we view this matter in a very serious light. Remember that the alleged attack happened at a national key point, which is the Constitutional Court, and we view it as a direct attack on the rule of law. And we believe that we are up to the task as all agencies within law enforcement to deal with characters and actions of such caliber.
Just one last one back on the parole issue. So if he was, just to understand correctly, he was convicted in 2010, released in 2019 on parole. How long was his parole period supposed to be?
Well, that information will be provided by the Department of Correctional Services. Remember that that is not our scope of work, so we believe that Correctional Services will be in a better position to give more information on his conditions of detainment and how long he was supposed to serve his sentence on parole.
So can we also get clarity?
All right, outside the Johannesburg High Court, where the man accused of attacking the Constitutional Court yesterday, the windows with a hammer, decided not to apply for bail. Paul Makauta, we heard from NPA spokesperson Pindi Mjondondwane, is out on parole on a murder charge from 2010. He's decided not to apply for bail, and she also said that the Constitutional Court is a national key point, which means, I presume, that there will be a Schedule 5 offence, which means that it's quite difficult as an accused to get bail. So that's what's going to happen now, and I think that the case has been postponed. We'll get more details on that from Heidi a little bit later.